Oh, hey, you big stoners. It's Big Papa Hundo and superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug, coming at you today. What up, what up? You probably want to know what up with Big Papa Hundo and superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug today. Yeah, you do. Well, we was just hanging out over here, cleaning up because, Mr. Eggman came out to play, and he made a big mess. And considering the Big Papa Hundo has not got the hot water hooked up at the compound yet, it's been pretty much a hot, long, cold time without the hot water. But it looks like we're getting real close to getting that little dilemma solved, which is good because we've got the Jared Shaw suite where Jared Dwayne Shaw can stay so that he does not need to be imprisoned in Indonesia anymore for 132 medical marijuana gummies. Woo! There we go. That's so much better. But that's not what you came here for today. What you came here for was a lesson in how to pop a hundo. All right, so today we're going to do a lot of stuff. We got a lot of things to talk about. You guys have been asking all kinds of questions about all kinds of stuff. But first, we got a flying saucer. What's a flying saucer, Big Papa Hundo? Superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug. I can totally see her lips moving. Let's try that again. Okay, Big Papa Hundo. What's a space gem? Wow, that was so much better, Superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary banana slug. Well, a flying saucer is 100 milligrams of THC. And this is from our friend Wendy Baker, who's on the Space Gem Challenge. And we're on the Space Gem Challenge too. It's just a slightly BPH version of the Space Gem Challenge. I'll let Wendy Baker explain all that to you because what we're going to do is show you how to pop a hundo, all right? This here's how you pop a hundo. You take your hundo, you open it, all right? Open it. See, they're child-proof, but they're not Big Papa Hundo-proof, I think. Oh, wait. Come on. Okay, yay. No, you take it, you open it. Now, when you take it, you'll see that it's divided so that you can do 10 milligrams at a time. The entire quantity is a hundo. 100 milligrams of THC, y'all. And it's so good to THC, y'all. Anyhow, we're going to do that. Oh, Wendy Baker. Yummy. Oh, Space Gems. Are banging good. Oh, that's so good. It's so good to be back up here in Humboldt County. In the greater Emerald Triangle region. Oh, what's this? Funny you should ask. This is Big Papa Hundo's Red Crest Volunteer Fire Department shirt that he got about 22 years ago up in Red Crest. Yeah, it's been that long, people. But here's the exciting news, okay? Superstar Slick Grace wants to give you a nose kiss, all right? But here's what we're going to do today. You know what it is? Well, when Mr. Eggman came over and he was doing all his wild stuff and he was exorcising the demons of Wibbly Woo and, dealing with all the uncoolios down there in Two Stoned, Arizona who were hot, not okay. By the way, just a running count here, we're at 182 days of being blocked and ignored by the tools in the tool shed over at the D2 dispensary, downtown Cannabis Gallery in Two Stoned, Arizona, who we gave 180 days to say something because they blocked Big Papa Hundo access to his medical marijuana. Yeah, he was rolling up there. They even sent him a text saying, please come pick up your order. It will be ready between noon and 1. So we got there. And he's posted all this up. It's all verifiable, people. He's been shouting this out for 180 days. It's just a lot of people weren't paying attention. And you know what? Now they are. So D2, we've asked again and again and again for you guys to apologize, hug it out, and move on. But all you guys want to do is this. No, we can't hear you. We denied you, you old, you know what? They called me an old faggot. And that's not okay. All right? So, forget about all that. We have better things to do with our day than worry about D2 idiots. and tools from the tool shed over at D2. The Uncoolios. Oh, the other Uncoolio, what are we at? 26 days of being blocked by the Loft Cinema. Okay? Oh, you see that fellow right there over my shoulder? That's Harris Glenn Milstead, also known as Divine. Okay? Divine's films have been shown at the Loft Cinema Tucson for a hot long time. Okay? And they need to stop it since they block and censor queer voices like Big Papa Hundo's. Next time that the Loft Cinema Tucson decides to put on a Divine film, I think maybe we ought to go and show them Mr. Eggman in person, all right? Because they're lame, all right? Now, they also, like everybody else, could just apologize and admit that, you know, you did something wibbly-woo, and then we can move on. But like most abusers and losers, all right, instead of apologizing, we double down on bad, okay? And we go, oh, well, you know what? Nobody will listen to the old faggot. So please don't listen to this old faggot as he tells you about the 12 Days of Xmas. That's right. It's Christmas in March in Humboldt. Hell yeah. Okay. Who's happy about that? Superstar Slick Grace is super happy. Yeah. What he's got here is he's got one of the very, very last of the remaining 12 Days of Xmas boxes. Woo! And take a look at this, okay? This is from our friends up here in the Emerald Triangle. This is true Emerald Triangle craft marijuana. And a lot of people had gone through all this at Christmas time and shown you all the cool sponsors. We got Sip Paradise up there. CBCB, what's up? What's up? Okay, look. We've got everybody. Let's just give a quick shout out and lots of love to the people who love us back. Woo! Not the people who call you a faggot and trespass you and don't give you access to your medical marijuana. People like that are hot, no. All right, so Big Papa Hundo, after 180 days of silence from the D2 dispensary downtown cannabis gallery in Tucson, Arizona, is finally naming names and telling you exactly what company it was that denied him safe access to medical marijuana. And we have filed with the Arizona Department of Health Services because that was illegal, immoral, and unethical to deny me of my medical marijuana, then tell me to get in my car and drive across town to one of your other locations because for your convenience, arrogance, and ignorance, you denied safe legal access to a medical marijuana patient. You got no excuse, okay? And you've had 180 days to apologize, and you haven't. So at this point, we're taking it right to the people and telling them who you are and what you are. But it's Christmas, so forget about D2. Sorry I keep harping on that. It's just, I've had that under my hat here for, 180 days of being ignored, marginalized, laughed at. And, the last thing I wanted was to be laughed at. That's for hella sure, because I like to keep it, a little bit lighthearted. Woo, woo, woo. Well, he just picked one to start with, and he wasn't trying to be partial or say that one is any greater than the other, because they're not. They're all amazing. But today, we've got Soul Spirit Farms, all right? Now, let's see what they say. Woo, woo. Soul Spirit Farms Sour Diesel. Big Papa Hundo is happy. See, it's Christmas all over again up here in Humboldt. All right, so Sour Diesel from Soul Spirit Farms. All right, this Chem Dog crossed with Super Skunk. Let's try that again. This Chem Dog crossed with Super Skunk Cross has a pungent, stinky gas aroma. Ooh, pungent, stinky gas. I'm in. I'm so down. And a flavor of funky fuel with a hint of citrus. I'm acting as if I've never smoked it before. But how many times have I gone through this box with y'all? All right, a hot couple times. All right, Soul Spirit Farms. Here we go. Back. Funky diesel. All right, Sour Diesel has a fast-acting euphoric head high. Your body will feel relaxed and fluid while having a burst of energy for your physical tasks. So, what I'm going to be looking for today is I'm going to be looking for my Sour Diesel from Soul Spirit Farms. This is some craft marijuana here from the Emerald Triangle from our friends at Soul Spirit Farms. and we're going to be looking to feel relaxed and fluid. So when I'm feeling relaxed and fluid, I'll let you know. And it says I'm going to have a burst of energy. That's exactly what you guys need, right? All right, here we go. Take it, open it, pop it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, and remember, Big Papa Hundo always recommends we are going to use our big red nose, and we're going to smell it. We're going to use our scent of taste, and Big Papa Hundo always likes to draw on the flower before he lights it up. And the reason being that he likes to get the taste, the scent, the flavor, and get the experience of what he's got before he sparks it up. Now, let's see what the rest of what they've got to say. They said, we love a good classic, and Sour D is Walter's all-time favorite cultivar. What's up, Walter? And he smokes this all day while tending the garden. And it's great for all kinds of activations. So, let's get a little picture of Soul Spirit Farms. Okay. Now, we know from what we've just read that Walter is out here smoking this all day. And that's what Big Papa Hundo thinks that he should be doing too. Okay. He's got a lighter here. Okay. Oh, look, he's got a lighter from the D2 dispensaries. Okay? Because he used to be a bud tender at D2 dispensaries before they called him a faggot and fired him. Yeah. Anyway, ooh. I can tell you this right now. I am so glad that it is Xmas in March here in Humboldt because, oh boy, man, it is just that good. Heck yes. So here we are enjoying the Sour D like Walter. So I'm going to be like Walter, and I'm going to feel liquid and fluid while getting things done. Or whatever he said he was doing. All right, let's take a look. While we're smoking this joint. Okay. By the way, this is Superstar Slick Grace, the Queer Imaginary Real Banana Slug, and Big Papa Hundo, coming to you from the BPH compound. All right? And we just wanted to remind you that while you're getting stoned on your Sour D, and and you know Big Papa Hundo loves the D. Heck yes, he does. He loves the D so much that his old dispensary manager called him a big faggot. That's how much he loves the D. Anyway, I'm Big Papa Hundo. All joking aside, beep, beep, it's hot no to deny medical marijuana patients safe access to medical marijuana. So, the reason why Big Papa Hundo has finally come out of the closet about who it was that did the naughty wibbly woo thing down in Two Stoned, Arizona, was he gave them a full 180 days of begging, okay? Begging to be listened to. He said, wouldn't somebody in power please talk to this man, because he's telling you that somebody in your facility has been picking on him. Now, what happened was, okay, because y'all have been asking exactly what the hell all this D2 crap's all about. So, Big Papa Hundo worked for the D2 dispensary downtown Cannabis Gallery for 8 months because he was down in Two Stoned, Arizona, being quiet for a change, taking care of his octogenarian parents, taking care of his own health issues. And as you know, Big Papa Hundo had a health crisis that just about did him in. But he survived thanks to the miracle of Rick Simpson oil and medical marijuana. And he survived enough to where he got himself a job working as a bud tender so that he could educate the public and share the miracle of his survival and all the benefits that are what? Medical, recreational, and inspirational. The BPH MRI. We've talked about this a hot lot, people. Anyway, so Big Papa Hundo was having a pretty happy life down there, and he was taking a little break from being the loud, in-your-face activist that he can be from time to time, and just focusing one-on-one on the people and educating people about medical marijuana, teaching them what was what was right, what was wrong, what was going to work for him, what his recommendations would be, listening to their stories, and getting yelled at by his manager for going too slow and talking too much and hurry him up. We got to get our speed of service time down. Thank you, drive through. Big Papa Hundo didn't agree with all that. He said, when we're dealing with altering somebody's consciousness, we have to be responsible. And Big Papa Hundo had conversations with this particular manager a number of times. One of the things he had a conversation about the manager was, he said he had a problem with the fact that one of his fellow bud tenders was going around telling people that Delta 8 was non-psychoactive, okay? Because that's irresponsible. And he thought, if we're going to be in charge of giving people education, we ought to be telling them the proper information. And anyway, that manager picked on Big Papa Hundo a lot. And I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if it was just his insecurities or a need to be in charge of people. Because the worst managers and the worst leaders, and Big Papa Hundo was a CEO of an international not-for-profit, okay? He was the CEO, COO of a number of businesses, and he knows a lot about management of people. He knows a lot about management of businesses. He knows a lot about a lot of things. And one of the things he knows is that the worst leaders in the world are the ones who crave power, okay? And take a look at what's going on in the world right now, and it's pretty wibbly-woo. And who's doing it are the people who are just so desperate to hold on to the power. People who don't want to decentralize, people who don't want to give power to the people, all right? And that's exactly what I was dealing with, was kind of a philosophical difference between my we-ness and his I-ness, okay? So his highness, the I-ness, versus the we-ness and my we-ness. I mean, that's really, it comes down to the difference between the I-ness and the we-ness. I mean, you have to decide at some point if it's all about the ego of the individual or if it's all about the betterment of the whole team. And in this particular case, I don't even think the technical title is manager. I don't think that D2 was willing to even go that far as to name this person manager, but they did put him in charge. And what happened was, it was 8 months when I was called in an hour early. I had been scheduled for a 7.5-hour shift, which meant I got 2 20-minute breaks. Yeah. And, hey, that's very generous, right? You could sit down twice in the next 7.5 hours, you old faggot. Yeah. So anyway, so I was entitled to breaks, but I got called from, one of the upper managers, not one of the senior corporate guys, but somebody within that organization that said, can you please come in an hour early today? And so I did. I came in an hour early, and they said, we're going to do your review. And so this was 8 months into my employment. And I said, oh, okay. And so first they did my 90-day review at 8 months into my employment. Then they did my 6-month review at 8 months into my employment. And that's when I told them about my concerns and issues with the way that I've been treated by this manager, and that I said that I thought that he had an attitude of he was the friggin' police department or something, that all he wanted to do was catch people doing something wrong, and that every day I worked with him, he was the only person that never had anything positive to say to me. It was always that I did something wrong or that some problem, and it was all petty nonsense. There wasn't like there was any concern. I mean, my customers never complained. My coworkers weren't complaining. But yeah, anyway, so the end result is that particular day, which was during my 8th month of employment on August 28th, 2025, I did report during my review. I said, listen, I really don't want to say anything, but this guy really needs some coaching and some training, because he's acting in ways that are inappropriate, and he's, making big deals out of things that are completely ridiculous. And, my senior managers, the ones who were giving me my review, they had said like, hey, if you ever need an extra, we know that you have PTSD and we know that you're a medical marijuana patient. Okay. Well, here's the irony, people, that a dispensary, okay, these guys don't allow you to take your medication when you're on the clock. So
not only was I working, but I was not allowed to take my medication or I'd be fired. So I had been there for 7.5 hours. I got called in the extra hour to do my review, which put me at 8.5 hours. So technically and legally, I should have had 3 10-minute breaks. Well, when I asked the manager for my third of the 10-minute breaks, he said, you don't get a third break. You only work 7.5 hours. I said, right, but I got called in an hour early and I was on the clock because I got my review. And he walked me over to the board, okay, on the wall, and he said, here. You see right here where it says Jack Grace? Do you see your name? Do you know how to read your name? It says Jack Grace right there. Well, what you do is you look at your name. This is Jack Grace. And then you look right across here to the time and it says the time you work. Do you know how to do that? And I said, yeah, I do, but you don't understand. I'm 7.5 hours on your schedule, but I got called in an hour early. He goes, well, that doesn't count. Okay? And I said, well, wait, it does count because I'm on your clock for 8.5 hours. I should get 3 breaks. And he goes, no, you old faggot. That's not the way this works. It says it right there. That's the way it is. All right. Yeah. And that wasn't all of it. There was a hot lot more to it. But, anyway, so that night, yeah, I didn't have my medication because I wasn't allowed to take it. I wasn't being given my breaks. I was getting called a faggot. And I said, I am having a panic attack. I really need you to not be aggressive to me right now. And he said, you know what? There's a problem. And I said, what is the problem? And he said, well, on your first break, everything was fine. But on your second break, you did check in and out with me, which is the policy. But you did not check out with your other bud tenders. I said, wait a second, there are only 3 of us there. And the first thing I did was go check out with them. Okay, make sure it was okay with them. Then I had to go find you who was hiding in the back. Then I went and wrote it on the board during my 10 minutes. Okay, then I took my 10 minutes and then I came back. And you've waited all the way here to the end of the day to tell me that I didn't check out with my other bud tenders to take a 10-minute break to go to the bathroom. One of 2 breaks when I should have had 3. And he goes, no, you didn't check out with them. I said, there are only 3 of us. I talked to everybody. Are you calling me a liar? And he goes, you're a liar. I'm like, I'm not a liar. I did check out with them. And he goes, no, you didn't. And you're going to get fired, you old faggot. I said, what? You can't talk to me like that. And you know what he said? Nobody will ever find out. And Big Papa Hundo lost it. And he went running out the door. And he had a total PTSD attack, and he drove up a mountain, and he abandoned his car, and he was going to end his life, okay? Because that's how far smashed down that he was from having somebody he thought was his friend and who was supposed to be his manager, calling him an old faggot and telling him he was going to get him fired. Well, luckily, Big Papa Hundo, while he was walking up there, he did blow 2 tires on his car, abandoning it out in the desert, and he did end up remembering his daughter Miracle, who was a camp counselor at Campwood Rainbow, and he called the suicide prevention line, and spent hours on the phone with the suicide prevention line. And he woke up the next morning and couldn't believe what happened, and he called the D2 dispensary team to say, hey, look, last night something really bad happened and I need to talk to somebody. And they said, well, the important people are on vacation in Hawaii and they won't be back until Wednesday. And they haven't been back. And it's been 182 days today since I got called an old faggot at D2 Dispensary Downtown Cannabis Gallery by my manager, and had a panic attack and left the building to go commit suicide. And that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about that situation. And all I asked for was for them to give me a call the next morning as I was nursing my wounds, to talk about the fact that that wasn't okay. But in the meantime, that manager did follow through on his promise and get me fired, okay? And I've still never heard from the upper management to tell the story. I wanted to tell that story to them one-on-one. I've been begging for 182 days to be able to get somebody's ear so that they, but instead I got buried and erased. Now, I'd also like to point out that I was the first person you saw on their, I was the first person you saw on their Instagram feed. They were definitely marketing me, and had interviewed and done that with the staff like they always do. But as soon as the next day, before I ever even got a chance to speak with the upper management who were on vacation in Hawaii at the time, my image got scrubbed off their website completely. So I got completely erased. So not only did I get abused, and called a faggot, and caused a panic attack, but then they literally scrubbed me off of their website before I ever even got a chance to speak with HR, because HR was on vacation in Hawaii, along with the upper management. But yet the middle manager and the social media team at D2 Dispensary Downtown Cannabis Gallery clearly had it in for me, because why would they scrub me off of their website before I even had a chance to sit down and talk to HR, who never would take a face-to-face meeting? And it's been 182 days since I was called an old faggot in your facility, D2 Dispensary Cannabis Gallery. I went to the police. I have filed the report. I've done everything that I should do, and all I've been is ignored. And I waited 180 days before Mr. Eggman came out to put the egg on your face, where it belongs. But I wanted to handle this privately. I wanted to handle this one-on-one. This is not just a disgruntled ex-employee, because I never worked for you for the money. Okay? And you can ask anybody who works there. You can ask my customers. You can ask my coworkers. Okay? Big Papa Hundo didn't do it for the, what did you pay me, like $12 an hour or something? Please. Big Papa Hundo could make that money if he wanted or needed to. He didn't do it for the money. He did it for the love. He did it for educating the people and educating the public. He did it because he is the legacy marijuana person, thing, whatever he is, clown. He's the legacy marijuana clown who has been educating people about marijuana and its benefits since the 1990s. The copy of The Emperor Wears No Clothes. I had to plug the phone in because I can't tell how much power I have on this. And every time I do these live streams, it ends up cutting out power, and then it gets lost to the universe, and only a few of you get to see it. And then, you tell each other about it and stuff, but it goes away. And sometimes that's on purpose, and sometimes it's not, okay? But he's rambling about D2 Dispensary Downtown Cannabis Gallery. So I loved working at D2 Dispensary Downtown Cannabis Gallery because I loved interacting with the people and the public. I liked the people I thought were my friends there. And though it's incredibly politically charged for anybody there to say that they're down with the clown. Like, that's like when you are in an authoritarian regime of whatever sort it is, when you identify as being on the right side of history and with the people that are held down and oppressed, you can't always raise your pride flags. But thanks and love to the friends who've stayed true to me, okay? And I also want to clear up something, is that I'm not suggesting that I think that the manager who threw this slur at me is some sort of a raging homophobe, red cap wearing whatever. I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form, okay? What I think, and what I wanted to have a conversation with the upper management and people who understand, clearly these guys don't understand. Clearly I'm operating at a level that's beyond the comprehension of what your executive capacity is, my friends, because if you understood what's going on, why did he throw a slur at me? Because he thought that's what would get me, okay? Why? Well, yeah, I'm the one who's wearing the rainbow unicorn jockstrap, and I have Conor Oberst's underwear and scandalous stories that are true, okay? They're fucking true. That's why he's got scandalous stories, because he is the legacy marijuana guy, okay? Yeah, he's that guy, okay? We've got the proof, we've got the receipts, all right? Look it up, people, all right? Look it up. You're talking to the guy. You're shaking the hand that shook the hand, all right? And he also has he's got a lot of experience in the business world and in the corporate boardroom, and he knows what a corporation is, what it should be, what it is, what it could be. Let's talk about sex, baby. You guys remember that? You guys see that shit? That was fun. Oh, so big shout out to those of you up in the Humboldt Nation, and man, I love you, fam. I love you so much. All right, and seriously, this is a coming out of the closet in the biggest, most authentically exposed way that Big Papa Hundo can possibly think of here, is to share with you just very openly, honestly, and directly all of what it is that you're seeing that's so scandalous or shocking, and how it challenges what your perceptions are, because maybe your perception to the fact that somebody called me a faggot is to go off on a witch hunt. Who was it? It doesn't fucking matter, okay? It matters that it was D2 dispensary where it happened, and that they're the ones who needed to protect me, okay? I'm not thinking that the person who called me a faggot is homophobic. I think that was just the lowest common denominator. What barb can I throw that would hurt him the most? I mean, he could have attacked me. It could have been fatty, okay? It could have been oldie. It was oldie. I mean, it was old faggot. So yeah, he did go at the age card. But, you know, my point being that I'm not suggesting that this is a person who's going around. Some of those at workforces, I'm not saying he's the one that's burning crosses or anything. What I'm saying is that there is a systemic problem at the D2 dispensary, downtown Cannabis Gallery, that, in my personal opinion, I think you should avoid it, okay? Because I told them that someone had used a homophobic slur against me and then got me fired. And I got told that they would call me back Wednesday. And I've been asking every single week on Wednesday up until about a couple months back when, you know, the hot block continues. And how long do you keep begging, okay, until you start egging? And so it's time. And I'm egging all of you on to ask the freaking questions and demand accountability, because whether or not it's even relevant that I got called a faggot, what is relevant is that I got refused access to my medical marijuana. All right? And let me tell you all about that in detail again and again. And, you know, you can look all of this up, people. This is not something that's new. This is something that I've been screaming about for a hot minute, okay? It's just, Big Papa Hundo has a lot of things that are important issues in his life, okay? And important issues in your lives, important issues in our lives, important issues that it's hard to choose how to put your good where it does the most, when there are so many things that we can make a little gooder, right? And so I don't want to distract too much more from the promulgation of joy and the Joy and Hope mission. And by the way, the Joy and Hope Project, you should definitely check out Joy and Hope, who are on exhibition at the Epitome Gallery. The Epitome Gallery, you can see them at the Epitome Gallery. Oh, where's the Epitome Gallery, Big funny you should ask, superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug, right here, live, woo, with Big Papa Hundo, the Humboldt Lorax clown. Oh, and superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug. You can see superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug, and superstar triple jumpers, Joy and Hope, who are now on display at the Epitome Gallery, which is 420. Can you remember this, kids? 420. Okay. 420 2nd Street. What street? Second. Don't talk with that. Talk with this. Superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug, now speaks out her ass. D2 sucks. Oh, sorry. No, wait. Talk from this end instead. Superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug, woo, speaking out of the proper end of her clown nose, says, the Epitome Gallery is located at 420 2nd Street, Eureka, California. Check them out. They've got all kinds of amazing artists. And if you're lucky, you will see superstar Slick Grace, the queer imaginary real banana slug. But I digress. We were talking about safe access to medical marijuana, weren't we? And we were talking about what happened when Big Papa Hundo was really pretty tore up, as one should presumably be, because when he got called big faggot, yeah, he did. When that happened, and then Slick Grace, sorry. So she is my queer imaginary real banana slug, and she is my service animal as well. So did we talk about? No, superstar Slick Grace just stole my nose. She does that. Beep, beep. It's okay. I know. She just wants to be more a part of the show today. She's like, Big Papa Hundo, you're all getting preachy about being denied access to medical marijuana. Yeah, I am kind of getting a little preachy about being denied safe access to my medical marijuana, which, subsequent to the degradation ceremony that I went through in front of my peers and in front of my previous customers, by suddenly, waiting until the powers that be got back from Hawaii on vacation, because they were the important people. And there was a clear distinction that was made, very clear, that they were the important people. I was certainly not the important person. So I, the person who got slurred, had a medical incident in their facility where I got, and that was the night, people, that I had worked the 8.5 hours and only got 2 breaks, and got told that I was stupid because I couldn't read my name on the board to figure out that I had only worked 7.5 because I got called in an hour early, but I was told that didn't count. So I was not allowed to take my marijuana because we're not allowed to be medicated on the job. How fucking stupid is that? How fucking stupid is that? I'm a medical marijuana patient and I work at a state licensed medical marijuana dispensary, and I'm not supposed to take my medication if I'm on the job. And yet, that whole policy is, you want the truth about that? Okay. The truth is that Big Papa Hundo did what he was supposed to. All right. Unlike others within the organization that just do what they want, but use that as something to hold over other people. Oh yeah, we're going to say we don't. So they're freaking lies. It's a pack of lies, man. It's a corporate pack of lies. It's a corporate pack of lies. Why the hell? All right. Enough of that. Big Papa Hundo's getting a little preachy and a little teachy I'm only a former president of a international not-for-profit trade association that oversaw fire protection across a hot lot, okay, including the Empire State Building, okay, the Brooklyn Chop House. What's up, David Thomas? Hi, David Thomas from the Brooklyn Chop House. And Chef Skinny, what's up, yo? All right. Oh, And, I had to deal with certain individuals that, like John LeGrone, for example, man, just people who like to pick on Big Papa Hundo in his professional career. People that, it was all good-hearted, don't get me wrong. But thank goodness for good people like Dustin Lewandowski from Wolfgang Puck Fine Dining. And they are fine dining. They're really some of the cool people. And I love Matt Hurley, even though I'm sure, Matt Hurley, this is a hot lot for you. Chef Matt Hurley, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Give it up. But Big Papa Hundo loves Chef Dustin. And thank you, Chef Dustin, for allowing Big Papa Hundo to sexually harass you the last time that he was in, fabulous Las Vegas in a completely beep, 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 appropriately inappropriate manner, as always. But I never would do that if I was on duty. All right. Duty. Woo! We're on duty now, ladies and gentlemen. Why did we come down here, you big stoner? So anyhow, we were on about safe access to medical marijuana, and Big Papa Hundo was going to come and get you something to show you. By the way, Space Gems, this is 100 milligrams of THC, y'all. And it's so good to THC, y'all, today. What up? This Big Papa Hundo. And, we were just having the 12 J's of Xmas. Everything was going real groovy. But what we were talking about was getting denied access to medical marijuana. And getting told, that you got to wait for some powers that be, powerful entity that's like, they're not even human, man. I mean, it's like, I'm like, can I talk? It's not like, hey, can I talk to the people that matter? They're like, no. The important people are not here. The important people are all in Hawaii. That's the exact quote, by the way. Quote them on that one, okay? Quote Greedweed on the following. The important people are in Hawaii. You, Big Papa Hundo, must wait until Wednesday. So I was told, I had a freaking meltdown. I'm a mental case. I have PTSD. And do you think that being told I can't take my medical marijuana because I'm at work selling people medical marijuana, but I'm taking too long because I'm trying to give them good, valuable advice, and I'm dealing with a lot of recreational enthusiasts who I love, but I too am trying to give them good advice, and I'm being told, hurry the hell up, didn't take it too long. Meanwhile, I'm listening to people going, oh, Delta 8 is not, it's not psychoactive. It's not, dude. Be responsible, okay? and whatever. But I'm an old faggot, so don't listen to me. Anyhow, so when Big Papa Hundo was rolling with the punches and waiting to hear from the important people who were on vacation in Hawaii, who still 182 days later not felt that he was a valuable enough human being after given, loyal service and care and sincerity in putting his good where it did the most, or at least he thought he was. But when you find out that you're where you thought you were putting your good was where you thought it was doing the most, but you found out that you could put it somewhere better. Quote him on this one, people. It's always okay if you feel like perhaps it's not okay. Perhaps it is okay. I fucking think it's divine, personally. Okay? I personally think it's divine, but I'm not even going to tell you what it was, or what it is, what it could be, what it was, what it should be. Oh, man. So I wake in the morning and I step outside. Woo! And I take a deep breath and I get real high. Woo! What's going on? Woo! I will THC y'all a little later. Love you, Humboldt.